Hey everybody, hell, pause when my brain was trying to think what I was going to talk about. I wanted to real quickly talk about something that comes up quite a bit, especially as the summer comes on, and that is the social committee, for lack of a better term, or just social events in general in Almond Glen. I won't spend a lot of time on this, but over the years we've tried to do different events and stuff, and that all started with when I first moved into the neighborhood in 2010. I recall we would have little get-togethers at the pool every so often, usually the fall, if I remember correctly. It was kind of the primary thing. There was always like a fall get-together, and it was kind of a potluck type thing because the homeowners association was controlled by the builder back then, so the neighbors didn't have any. We just had to come together as a group. And it was a neat little thing because it was just everybody getting together from the neighborhood and kind of loosely organized through the people that were on Facebook and people who knew each other in the neighborhood and talked to each other. And that brought us all together. Then once the board was controlled by the homeowners, at that point we started trying to say, why don't we take a little bit of the homeowners association money and kind of roll that over and help sponsor these events. Over the years, we've tried to do more and more of that, and at one point, I think we had a high time when we had probably 5 different events throughout the year that we did in some way, some of them bigger than others, and then it's dipped back off. So with Easter recently kind of coming up on the horizon, and everybody saw Easter coming, there was questions about why are we the only neighborhood in the area that doesn't do some sort of an Easter egg hunt. And I don't think that's a fair statement. I'd say there's probably, first of all, there's probably other neighborhoods that don't have their own specific Easter egg hunt. But I get the point. The point of the question is, hey, why aren't we doing anything for Easter? And that's one of those things that there's a lot of different reasons that could jump back and forth on that. But ultimately, we have some different issues in the neighborhood that require the use of funds right now. We're talking about issues with our landscaping, talking about getting the pool preparation ready, just things that are priorities for the board when you look at where is the board supposed to put our money. So it's very difficult to justify, even though we try to budget for it at the beginning of the year and it's planned in, it's very very hard to justify having parties when we're not taking care of all the other issues we got going on. From a logistics standpoint, it's very difficult to plan these parties and events. You have to get people to come in and be volunteers to plan them. Generally speaking, that's going to be a couple people, and we try to organize those events and then get people together to actually put the events on, and then you have to do the cleanup and you have to buy the supplies for it, and it's a lot of logistic work. We've also, just over the years, we've struggled to find people who can throw together the events, help put them on, and not turn it into some sort of an infighting, this is my personal event, type thing. So we've struggled with that over the years. We've had people come and serve on our committees and help out, and then it turns into something where they're offended by one or two little things, and it turns into a big ordeal. So to avoid those kinds of issues going into this season, so far we've just not done any kind of events. And I get it that causes some frustrations for a few people here and there, but I think overall it makes sense to say, hey, why don't we wait, take care of our other issues before we go trying to do things with social events and parties and stuff. So that's kind of the thought process on that, and that's why we've not done anything so far. Maybe we will this season if we can, but it's not something that I would say is a major priority for the board because it's not our primary reason for having our duties. It's not our main thing. So that's where we are with it, and look forward to doing some things this year if we can. If nothing else, I'm sure we will see people from the neighborhood and we'll gather together like we always have, and we'll have a good time. We'll enjoy our neighborhood and enjoy our friends and neighbors.